up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my cute backdrop. Isn't it so cute?
Aww. Yay!
I'm so excited to take you guys through a little get ready with me. We're going to the gym today. We're talking a little bit about being 28, goals for this next year, dissolving my lip filler, update on my boobs. Lastly, we're talking a little bit of fat loss tips, macro money 101. As always, make sure that you thumb this video up, subscribe, leave a comment, just say hi, anything to support my channel. I would appreciate it more than you know, and let's get into the video. All right, you guys, so we are going to be doing a full get ready with me today. I have my mirror down here, just like the good old days, and we're just gonna be chatting, talking, and also using all of my brand new Tarte Cosmetics makeup. I have so much to try. I'm very excited, but I'm gonna first start, as always, my Tula Filter Primer. This just gets my face really nice and hydrated. Also really good for like a no makeup look if that's more of your style. So depending on when you guys are watching this, it's actually crazy because tomorrow, April 6th, I turn 28. When I was 24, I found out I was pregnant with Maddox. When I turned 25, I was like, you know, I had announced it. It's been 3 years since I started my podcast, which I'm now on YouTube. Like, I have my podcast on YouTube. And so much has just shifted and changed. And it's been super exciting, but it's also kind of scary when you start to like think about it in terms of years. It's like, wow, time really is kind of fake. It just goes by so fast. And then I see other people who are like, just wait until, you know, you turn 40. And I'm like, holy shit, yeah, like before I know it, I'm also gonna be 40, so that's nuts. By the time you're watching this, you know, the days have changed, life's a little bit different, but I did go about a week ago and get my filler dissolved in my lips. I talked about this in my video about just kind of like, do I regret getting my boobs done? And I chatted a little bit about like getting my filler dissolved. So I ended up going and doing it, and I will say pain on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably about a 6. All I had was topical numbing. I think the most uncomfortable point for me is the idea that they're like in my lips. It's just the most uncomfortable feeling. I can't even explain. If you're someone who goes through any form of filler with like minimal numbing as well as low pain, I mean, like, you are a chosen one. You're a badass. I give you props for that. Because one thing about me is I'm gonna be numbed. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and use my brand new Shape Tape. This is in the color 22N Light Natural. I've used Shape Tape since like the beginning of wearing makeup ever. However, it's always a really good staple. Oh my gosh, look at that crisp. Oof, wow, this is a fresh pack. And sometimes I even try to like sculpt a little bit. Does that do anything? I really don't know. Filler dissolve was good. I go back in 2 weeks to kind of decide if we need to do a little bit more, which I think we'll have to do a little bit more underneath my bottom lip, but it's something that, like, if you guys have filler, please make sure that you're regularly asking your injector, like, you know, if everything's looking okay, and also make sure that any filler that you're getting is dissolvable. They told me a few horror stories about people who have come in to get filler dissolved, like say in their chin or somewhere, like some area, and they go to dissolve it and they come back 2 weeks later looking exactly the same, just to find out that the product that was used on them wasn't dissolvable. It happens, people.
It happens.
I told you guys how I wanted to maybe get my boobs removed. Since then, I've stopped breastfeeding, and let me tell you, things have gotten so much better in the chest department. Not saying that that like has deterred me from a decision. However, it is so much more attainable to have a chest at a much smaller size, which I haven't seen in years, because I went from being pregnant to breastfeeding to then being immediately pregnant again, where your boobs get big anyways. So it's super frustrating. I'm now going in with Smooth Operator. This is Tarte Cosmetics setting powder. I'm gonna see how this works. It's just a translucent powder. Kind of dab her in here. Oh. Wow. You guys tell the difference? You totally can. This is like a smoother side. And then we have this side looks still like a little glossy. Wow. For a hot minute, I actually thought I had a capsular contraction. That's a really big tongue twister. So I was going to call my plastic surgeon, and then all of a sudden, after the weekend, I woke up and my boobs looked like a way that I hadn't seen them look in years, in like the best way possible. What I was kind of going through in this phase of like frustration was a lot of breast changes due to weaning from breastfeeding, which isn't something I like wasn't prepared for, but because I had weaned for a little bit longer than I did with Maddox, I was expecting a little bit more of like an immediate change in the way that my boobs look. That was a little bit of a surprise. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go through with it. I was going to call my plastic surgeon. I decided to wait a little bit longer and kind of reevaluate over the next couple months as these girls continue continue to change. But just like full transparency, like look at them now. Do you see how small they are? You can literally look at my other videos and you're like, Des, your chest looks so much smaller. It's amazing. I never thought I would say that, but wow, am I so grateful to have a smaller chest. So now I'm going in with my Sculpt Tape Contour. This is in the color Soft Bronze. And this is the one I actually bought before they sent one to me. So they sent me the color Warm Bronze and I'm using Soft Bronze. This is definitely a play on the Charlotte Tilbury contour one. And like, I'm not mad about it. You know, at the end of the day, everyone's doing the same thing. We could all sell the same t-shirts. We could all sell the same merch. Someone is still gonna have a customer that you won't. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't think it's a big deal if like companies put their own twist on something, because there's always someone who's gonna support that said company instead of the other, you know? Alani Nutrition has a vanilla protein. So does every other company. But some people are gonna buy their vanilla protein from Alani and not another company. So now that I'm going into my 28th year of life, I've kind of been wondering like, okay, what's gonna change? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna elevate myself? And I think the biggest thing that I'm trying to focus on is the idea that like, I'm not done yet. And I think we all need to kind of like encapsulate that energy, because so often are we worried about, you know, oh, I'm 25 and I'm not married yet, or I'm 30 and I haven't been on a date yet. I'm just throwing stuff out there. We get so caught up in like the idea that age correlates with certain milestones that we need to reach. And I think it's interesting because we also grow up with the idea of milestones as even a child. Even from being a child, we are expected to hit certain milestones. It never stops. That song Bowling for Soup, High School Never Ends, the same thing goes with just like growing up. We're always expecting more of out of ourselves. We're always thinking we need to do more than what we're doing. And I'm just really focused on not allowing that to destroy this upcoming year of my life. Now I'm gonna go in with the Shape Tape Glow Duster brush. I'm gonna add a little bit of this Amazonian Play blush. It's called the Blush Authority. It's got this cute little like mirror on it too. I want this like more of an abundance mindset. I'm not done yet. I still have so much life to live. I still have so much life to give. I have so much to experience. I'm done not playing victim. By no means like have I played victim, but just the idea of, oh, this hasn't happened for me yet. I don't know if this will ever happen to me. It's like, you just have to keep showing up. And I think that's like in my 28th year, that's what I want to keep doing. I want to continue to practice that mantra of my own and keep doing it. Next, I'm going to be using the Glow Bar. This is like a bronze glow palette. Super, super pretty. Wow, that is a fresh ass palette, guys. So if you're someone going through the same thing and you're kind of like, yeah, Des, you're speaking to me. This is kind of what I want to do this year. Let's do it together because we have nothing but time. So I know that I already put on blush. I kind of want to put a dab of one of these on. These are cheek and lip watercolors from their Tarte C collections. The colors Sun Crush and Sun Flush. I kind of want to go with Sun Flush. It's looking a little bit more brighter pink. Again, that fresh pop. Wow, that is pink. I'm kind of having fun and I want to like try a bunch of products. This isn't my typical like get ready with me because I kind of am just like dicking around. Wow, I like that. And I'm no perfect makeup artist, but you know, I can call a dime when I see one. Going into the year 28 also just makes me realize how much closer I am to 30, which to me, like 30 isn't super scary. It's just more of the idea of how do I want to personally like end my 20s? Am I gonna walk away and be like, wow, I wish I enjoyed that more? Or am I gonna walk away and be like, wow, I really worked hard in my 20s, or I did exactly what I wanted in my 20s. Make sure that I'm walking away going like, wow, I did all that I could with what I had. Now I'm just using my little Sephora shimmer powder. I've used this in past Get Ready With Me's. I just really like to put it like on the inner corner of my lids as well as like on top, and I kind of put a little bit like near my brows. And I did use this Fake Awake little pencil, but it's not like a white eyeliner. It's like a nice golden look. I just really love it. One of my favorite products that I've tried that I've never tried before. I do want to try a little bit of my MANEATER palette. I just want to try a color. Actually, I really love the packaging. It's so cute. She's pretty. If your birthday's this month like me, I really encourage you guys to just kind of join me on this journey this next year. Really living your best life, focusing more on gratitude, being so grateful for what you have and not getting caught up in what you don't. And trust me, I'm getting better at that too. As someone who's always striving to be their best and be the best, for lack of a better term, I get really caught up in, oh, I'm not there yet, or what if I'll never be there? And I, ask all these questions instead of just simply looking around and being like, damn, look at what I've already already done. Look what I'm able to do. Look at the people that I love, and look at the people that support me in X, Y, and Z. You know, it's human nature to get caught up in the idea of what you don't have yet because you're striving for it. But I really just want to get better this year at being present. And that doesn't mean that I've ever been ungrateful, but I don't think I've just practiced enough gratitude. I've just gotten really caught up in my normal day-to-day, and I've not allowed myself to really like sit down and sink into this idea of what I get to do every day. Nonetheless, kind of like overlooking those small things, you know, my health, healthy babies, the ability that I was able to have babies, my husband, and my home. I have shelter, I have a car, like these small things. And I think, you know, maybe it's more of like a maturity thing as we get older and wiser too, but I just feel like I've kind of lost sight of how amazing it is. As always, my mascara hack, I used my booster from Lacombe. I'm going to go ahead and use today the Tartelette tubing mascara. I've heard really great things about this, and I feel like in my mascara hack, it's going to work really, really well. The applicator looks pretty good, and I am turning on my heated lash curler so that I can use this on my lashes as well and turn them up. You guys will have to let me know what you think about overall life right now, how you're approaching your life. Like, are you changing anything this year, this upcoming year? Maybe you have a birthday coming up where like you're kind of starting fresh like I am. I love to hear from you guys, and I feel like the more we can always just be open here about, you know, hey, I feel the same, like whatever, like you just never know who's reading a comment and then they are like, wow, I'm so glad this person said that. Comment below, like, what are you thinking? How are you doing? What are you going through right now if you feel comfortable sharing? Using my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip setting spray. I used my Live Tinted Clear Brow Gel, nothing crazy. Let's go ahead and finish up with the idea of fat loss. Now, I covered this in my podcast this past week, so I definitely want you to go listen to the full podcast for like a full breakdown. It's gonna be a lot more educational than just like coming here to this singular video, because I broke it down in like an hour podcast, and it's a pretty intense podcast. However, I will give you a few tips from my own journey in regards to how to make sure you're eating well enough, how to make sure you're spreading that food apart and avoiding complete depletion, and more. So first, when you're in a cut, the foods that you're gonna wanna look for are the foods that are not going to take up a lot of your macro money. Now you might be wondering like, well, what is macro money? Macro money is basically calories or macros and deciding how you want to spend it. When you're in a deficit, typically you are not eating a lot of food, right? So when you do eat that food, you have to be really conscious about what food you're eating and what you're spending those macros on. You wanna make sure that you are spreading your macros out nicely to where you can put the big chunk of cash down on those big output moments of the day. For example, breakfast is one of the most important meals in the day, and most people wake up pretty hungry. So if that's you, you wanna make sure that you have a really nice breakfast to tie you all the way over until maybe you go to the gym or you have lunch, whatever seems to come first for you. This tubing mascara is like pretty intense. Wow, I mean, I like it, but whoa. If you're someone that works out in the morning and you're like, but Des, like I work out in the morning, what do I need to do? The best thing is always gonna be to make sure you have some sort of fuel. What I always say is like, if you need to go and do an upper body workout, you can probably get away with a little bit less food than if it's a leg day workout. If you're waking up crack of dawn, super early, and you're like, wow, I need to go hit legs, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a really nice, solid foundation of nutrition in before you go do that workout. In this case, maybe that looks like a piece of avocado toast with a little bit of turkey and 1 egg, a bowl of oatmeal and a muffin with an egg on it or something, right? You want a pretty decently voluminous meal at that point in time. However, if you're someone who is going to hit an upper body, you don't necessarily need that much because it's a lower expenditure workout. So maybe in that case, you would just do like a piece of toast with a little bit of peanut butter, or a rice cake with a banana and peanut butter, or something of that sort, right? It doesn't have to be as high in calories. Next up, I'm using the Juicy Lip Liner in the color Buff. Now, a lot of people come out of the day, realize they're most hungry after their workout. So again, that's when we're gonna wanna make sure that we have our biggest meals, usually pre and post workout. The rest of the day, you can operate at a pretty low intake and have a little bit of lower like carb and fat meals, for lack of better terms. Now I'm using my Juicy Lip in the color Rose. So this is the actual Juicy Lip. This isn't like the lipstick. This is more of like the gloss-ish I love how it like just naturally blends that lip liner in. Like it doesn't look so harsh.
Really like that.
Pre and post workout are gonna be your most important meals of the day. The rest of the day, you can maybe go a little bit lower calorie. And if you're someone who you get at the end of the night, you're like, but Des, I need to have an ice cream sandwich. That's totally fine. Just make sure that you're almost pre-tracking that so you know you're gonna have it every night. If you wanna go through the whole time you're in a fat loss mode and you want a snack every single night, you can totally do that. By no means do you have to eliminate certain foods. The only thing is that you're gonna have to eliminate calories, which a lot of foods come with a lot of calories. So you're gonna wanna make sure that, again, like I said, you're spending that macro money appropriately so that you have enough left over for the whole day. Kind of like if you get to the gas pump and you only have $5, you can't fill up your gas tank all the way. So if it's 5 p.m. and you're out of macro money, what are you gonna do? Now in that case, you could probably allot yourself a little bit more just to get through, have one more low calorie meal, especially if you're learning on how to split up those macros throughout the day. But ideally, you're gonna wanna stay in that deficit. The other thing you can make sure that you're incorporating obviously is cardio. The more output that we have, the more we can get away with eating. And I say that loosely because the goal isn't to do like 60 minutes of cardio so that you can eat 1,800 calories a day. You can do HIIT, you can do low intensity steady state, you can do whatever makes you feel good. It's just important that it's something that is going uphill instead of something that we are starting at right away. And what I mean by that is that you're not jumping into a weight loss mode immediately doing 40 minutes of cardio 5 times a day. Everything about a weight loss period, everything about a muscle surplus, everything about a reverse diet, everything about anything other than staying the same and finding maintenance is we're always gonna be going like this. It's always gonna be slow and steady. Now, like I said in my podcast, you can go a little bit more fast and the furious. If you wanna be, you know, a 5-week cut, a 6-week cut, things can look a little bit differently for you. However, what we're going to see most and what we're gonna see most sustainable is when we're approaching it at a very slow and steady pace. Do you have to be in a weight loss phase? Do you always have to be reverse dieting? No. A lot of people just go through life enjoying what they're doing and having fun doing it. And I know that's what I've been doing. I will say going into the summer, my current goals are to really put some mass on, be comfortable, lifting really heavy, eat a little bit more, especially as like both kids are starting to sleep through the night. I'm not breastfeeding anymore. I'm in this period of almost a year postpartum. In a few days, I'll be 11 months postpartum. So I'm nearing this like new chapter that I've actually never made it to. When I got pregnant with Archie, I was 11 months postpartum. So that happened way faster than I thought it would. I feel like I really didn't get the opportunity to like push forward in a way that I never had been able to before. I like kind of steamrolled right into like the next situation. And I've noticed over the past, 3 years, I've lost a lot of muscle. Constantly been in this state of pregnancy or breastfeeding where muscle gain is super hard to come by. I know that some of you out there might be in the same position as me where maybe you've had babies back to back, or that's what you plan to do. Like maybe you are starting your family soon and you're planning on kind of going one after the other. And just know that your journey is gonna look a lot different than someone who maybe had one baby and had 4 years in between or 2 years in between, whatever it may be. When you kind of knock them out back to back and you're getting pregnant below a year postpartum, a lot of things can just shift and change a lot differently, especially if you found yourself like me breastfeeding throughout that duration. At the end of the day, life is meant to be lived. You don't always have to be losing fat. You don't always have to be gaining weight. You don't always have to be focusing on whatever it may be. I think going into your fitness journey sometime and just knowing that every day you want to show up to be your best self, some form of progress is gonna continue to come out of that. So if you're looking for help in your weight loss journey or just your fitness journey in general, 6 Weeks to Shreds is open and we close Friday. I always wanna extend the invite to you because someone might be watching and be like, you know what, I don't need it. And maybe you don't. Like, that's totally fine. There are some people who are like, hey, I'm gonna take a challenge off. I'm gonna see like how I feel. But they always end up coming back. And then they're like, I wish I would have just done the challenge before. So if you haven't ever taken the leap on a challenge, you can join today. $60 up front if you want to do the payment plan, or $117 in full. All of our coach spots are sold out. They sold out the day of pre-registration. So you definitely want to make sure that for future challenges that you're always pre-signed up, because you definitely do not want to miss out. It goes very fast. I absolutely loved my makeup look today. I think it looks good. Again, I'm just going to the gym. I did a nice little eye look. My makeup isn't super heavy. I don't have a crazy base on. I just kind of did that tinted SPF from Tula. Your makeup's not going to look exactly the same versus if I were to have done like a real foundation, right? I hope you guys like this video. I just like sitting down sometimes. Honestly, I've been working so hard on my YouTube. I've been working so hard on my podcast, in my podcast on YouTube. I've had the challenge prep. I've had all these things and I'm like, you know what? I just gotta take a little TO from the vlogs this week. I gotta sit down, I gotta get some work done, and I really just wanna sit down and play with my new makeup and show them what it looks like, especially since last video we unboxed it all. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for always supporting me no matter what. Make sure that you go listen to my podcast, Brunch with Desby, from Sunday. If you're looking for more clarification on fat loss tips, on ways to approach your fat loss phase, how to calculate calories, macros, where to start, cardio, refeeds, cheat meals, what are we doing? How do you need to do it? Make sure you go watch that. I'll link it below and I'll also put it up here in the corner somewhere so that you can click on that video right away. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. Again, I'm sorry for not bringing you guys a vlog this week. I always feel kind of embarrassed uploading these videos just because I'm like, I do like vlogging and I feel like sometimes these can be a little bit boring, but I hope you guys can put it on, kind of just escape somewhere for a little bit with me, sit on the couch, drink your coffee, scroll your phone, have me playing in the background. I don't care. I don't need all your attention. Just give me a thumbs up. Love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Again, I'm heading to the gym. I'm wearing my Buff Bunny Lit Laser Bra with the BBL Seamless shorts in the color Eggplant. And then I'm wearing this top. It's from Free People, super cute.